There's no more time for preparation. It is time to go racing. And there is a lot of excitement here in Florida. And no, you are not seeing things. There really are that many cars leaving pit road. 77 in total, ready for the season opener. The 2010 Continental Tire Sports Car Challenge Series starts right now here on Speed. The World Center of Racing is the appropriate venue for this massive field. The first race of any season is always special, as every team wants to get the advantage, the early advantage that is, and they certainly will today. This is the Fresh from Florida 200, the opening round of the 2010 Continental Tire Sports Car Challenge. Hi everyone, Lee Diffie along with Calvin Fish and Dorsey Schrader here at Daytona International Speedway. A lot of excitement, boys, and Dorsey, we weren't making a mistake. There really are 77 cars here. It's incredible.
Yeah, it bodes well for the season opener. There were actually 81 cars at the beginning of the week. We've lost a couple, and we know of teams that didn't get their cars done yet. So for this series that is growing, it's going to be immense by the end of this season.
Not only a huge amount of cars as far as numbers, Cal, but huge diversity as well.
There really is. The fans will see 22 different models of race cars out there this afternoon. There's a real energy in the paddock. Teams have upped their programs. There's new cars being developed, and certainly the driver lineup. I don't think you'll see a better grid anywhere in North America in terms of road racing. Some real stars out there this afternoon. We expect some excitement at the end of this one, that's for sure.
That's for sure. Real range of cars here. Let's show you some of the highlighted cars, because as Calvin said, the word excitement, there's a lot of excitement about the pony cars, Dorse. They're back.
The Hot Rod Mustang Boss 302 is back, and for the Ford lovers around here, that is something that is really going to go very, very strongly with the crowd. But it's not just Ford fans that look at these cars and come to race. Look at this Camaro. This is reminiscent of the old Donahue Sunoco Camaro. The new Camaro body style is back. So now for the Chevrolet lovers, here it is. The Hot Rod Camaro, but it's not just there. Because remember, Dodge, the old Dodge Challenger, well, guess what? It's back too. As you see right here, the number 5 car, the Dodge Challenger is back. We got Ford, Chevrolet, and Chrysler going head-to-head.
Remember our two classes, Grand Sport and Street Tuner. New cars here.
There is. Kia makes their North American debut in road racing with the Kinetic Motorsport team. What a driver lineup. Johnson and Lally, a team with 2007 ST champs, Burrows and Hopwood. It is a development program, though. There's a long way to go. And here on board right now, Nick Johnson has a hood failure. He manages to bring it safely down to the side of the racetrack, but those guys are learning fast.
That was a little earlier today. Things have been rectified. They're ready to roll. The playground will be this one, the famous Daytona road course. Let's have a look at more on our Continental Tire track map.
3.5 miles of racetrack, and of course we love the 31-degree NASCAR banking, but it all happens in the infield. Watch out for the brake zone in turn 1. It gets quite congested down there. And here, the International Horseshoe, really, really slippery. But here's your trouble spot, the brake zone back here for the chicane. Take a look at here. Andrew Novich in the number 49 Volkswagen Jetta this morning shows you what can happen when you don't get it right.
The 17-year-old learning a valuable lesson. There's going to be plenty of lessons learnt today. 77 cars, as we mentioned, across this Continental Tire Challenge field. Exciting new times. We've got a new series sponsor and a fresh season. There's always so much to talk about, like Andy Pilgrim on the pole for 4Line Motorsports in that new V8-powered E92 BMW. Down beside the double yellows, Pilgrim gets away to a beautiful start.
He does, and on the outside of the front row, it's our 2008 GS champ, Joe Foster, in that new Boss 302R. That's shown a lot of strength here this weekend, Doss.
Yeah, you did say BMW V8. That's the difference there. Of course, it's the first time for this car being on pole, but look at it run away on the infield so far. These Mustangs got to gang up and really work the draft when they get up on the high bank.
There are new Mustangs. There are last year's Mustangs, like the 61. Jack Roush Jr. makes a move on the inside.
Yeah, Cadell there got a little bit loose on entry. Start to lose the rear end. We've got some action there, Dorsey, amongst the pack.
Well, we saw trouble there as we see one of the Dodge Challengers off the road. but there was a bunch of cars tangled in the International Horseshoe.
The Freedom Autosport boys start the year how they finished 2009. That is out in front. Derek Whitus, who's the team principal at Freedom Autosport, got a massive draft by his own admission. He said, I didn't really do that by myself. I got lucky. I got a draft and I put the MX-5 on pole.
And he's going to feel the heat. Looks like as Randy Post made his way up to second position, making his debut for the Irish Mike's team.
We got trouble here. The 78 Maxwell Paper Products.
Big damage there, Dorse.
Yeah, he's got alignment on the left front that's not good at all.
It's Eric Foss behind the wheel. He's just trying to get it off to a safe position, and major damage on the Maxwell Paper car.
That could be in contact with another car. I'm not sure. Right rear suspension failure without a question there.
Yeah, I think he must have been involved in that Schmozzle going down into the international hairpin. But here we have Andy Pilgrim, a veteran of 16 Rolex 24-hour races here. He leads the field on lap 1.
Let's not forget, on Rolex 24 weekend, Andy has been a winner overall in Daytona prototypes. Joe Foster is feeling the heat from Jack Roush Jr. Jack Sr. is here, and there is some high feelings in this team. The Roush Performance team, along with Billy Johnson, they've gelled as a driving partnership. They know what this car can do. They've got Brad Francis sitting on the box calling the shots, and they want to put this red machine out in front in 2010.
They are really strong. They really, as you said, Lee, formed a great partnership middle of last year. They had that win at Salt Lake City at Miller. Look at Joe Foster there, really dancing that rear end around Dorsey. They're still trying to get to grips. Oh, and Pilgrim runs wide. Can Foster take advantage here?
Trying to get a nose in, and if you could finally get that Mustang alongside, not this lap.
While Andy Pilgrim feels the pressure, Chris Neville, we say hello and tell us more about the 46.
Yeah, Lee, you were talking about teams starting this year, how they finished last year. Same with Fall Line Motorsports. They had their best finish last year at VIR, a second place, carrying that momentum over into 2010, getting a pole, and the first pole for the BMW E92. Andy Pilgrim, as you guys said, is behind the wheel, unsure whether he's going to be with the team any other times this year, but this team now showing they are a contender in this series. And as we see all these new makes and models on the grid, that E92 was new last year, but it's looking for its first win. Can this team convert the pole into that win? Brian?
Well, in ST, Lee, you talked about it earlier. What a great job by Whitus by qualifying on the pole in the ST class for the Freedom Autosports team in that MX-5. A great run. I talked to Tom Long. Yes, indeed, he did get a draft, but he said, you know, Whitus has been driving great all weekend. The other neat thing about that team, 2 MX-5s and 2 Mazda Speed 3s, so expect to see those Speed 3s come on as they get further developed. The other note about that MX-5, think about this. It is very sleek. It's fast in a straight line, and it drafts extremely well. But since it is small and punches a small hole in the air, cars behind it don't draft well at all. Lee?
Thanks, boys. Thanks for the updates, and I can tell you we're under a full course yellow. That was the theme here last year at the Fresh from Florida 200. The 54 Rick Edwards is in trouble. He's on pit road. But a year ago here in Daytona, we had 31 laps of caution, and there were only 74 laps completed in the race. More troubles for the 5 of Tom Nastasi.
Yeah, they lost a wheel on the out lap, so somehow they've got that car recovered and got 4 wheels back on the machine. These are the 2005 GS winners. Tom Nastasi teaming up with Ian James for the season. And this car, Dorsey, is starting to come on form a little bit.
Watch this, guys. The hood flies up. Now a tire and wheel assembly fell off on the pace lap. They didn't get the lug nuts on, and they didn't get the hood pins in either. This team is going to be furious.
So the Black Forest boys have some work to do. Tom Nastasi will be very frustrated with that. We're up and running, but we're under caution. We'll be back with more. This coverage of the Continental Tire Sports Car Challenge is presented by Continental Tire. Innovative technology, driving confidence. And brought to you in part by the Kia Forte Coupe. It's one hot ride. We're back at Daytona International Speedway, and this is the Fresh from Florida 200. We're coming to the end of that first full course caution. Multiple incidents. Track is clear. We're ready to go racing. New Mazda pace car will clear the circuit, and Andy Pilgrim will have a nice clear track ahead to go racing. He has got a throng of Mustangs chasing him down, but it's the new V8 E92 BMW for Fall Line Motorsports that has led all the way so far.
Here we go. This is really where the horsepower will count on that stretch, that run down into turn 1. And he got a good jump there on Joe. He can just take his own line, find his own marks there, Dorsey.
Keep an eye also on Jack Roush Jr., the red car in third there. Jack was really the guy that was putting the heat on right at the end before that caution lap. He wants to get to the front.
Well, we saw a lot of these front runners, Dorsey, make little slips there on the first couple of laps where everyone's just trying to find their feet and really get into a rhythm here in the early laps.
Jack just celebrated his young son's first birthday. I'll give you a prize, Dorsey, if you can guess his name.
Start with a J, maybe?
It's Jack. Jack the third. He's putting the pressure on. Jack Jr. is very pleased with the way that he's progressed with his driving over the past 12 months in particular, and ready to do the business this year as he applies the pressure to Joe Foster. Joe's trying to make ground on Andy Pilgrim. The Rehagen Mustangs are very well represented in this top half dozen cars.
They really are. They've got a lot of strong cars here. Of course, Andrew Cadell teaming with Kenny Wilden as Jack Roush Jr. looks to the inside there as they start to head up onto the banking once again. So Rehagen are looking strong. Cadell and Kenny Wilden, our 2009 champ, teamed up here. Cadell getting that as part of his prize to winning the Mustang Challenge Series, Dors.
Yeah, I'll tell you that. The last practice session before this race, Jack Roush's car went to #1 slot, so the car's working good. Andrew Cadell, no rookie to a Mustang, as he's won the only 2 Mustang Challenge Series events that there are.
Let's talk about ST for a moment, because the Compass 360 Honda's doing well. David Thelenius is leading the way in that class over Derek Whitus in the Freedom Autosport MX-5. As Calvin mentioned earlier, one of 2 MX-5s for Freedom Autosport. One of the team RSR, the Randy Smalley Racing Minis. Did very well. I think the 197 car qualified in the top 6, which was an outstanding effort.
It really is, and here you see that very tricky bus stop chicane. You can really trip yourself up going through here. Very soft there on the inside. It's been very cold down here in Florida the last month. The grass really hasn't recovered, Dorsey, so it's just like a sand pit on the inside of those apexes.
Something about a Mini Cooper on the high banks of Daytona just doesn't sit right.
There goes Tom Nastasi, a 2-time winner in Grand Sport, trying to make up for lost ground. I was talking with Randy Smalley earlier, and he's stuck with these Minis as we ride aboard the Freedom Autosport Mazda. He's staying with the Minis, Dors, because he feels, whoa, some debris there that Derek Whitus just hit. He feels that he's continuing to unlock the potential of these Minis, so he's staying with them for at least another season.
Well, the cars are very competitive, as you said.
Look at this
Good
move down to the outside. You can do that. You get a little braver now, too, Dorsey, with that asphalt there on the outside, the runoff area. What a move.
Well, he was really lucky, though, that debris that came up that you saw, Lee, really smacked hard up across the front of the cars. We saw one of the cars off there, one of the new Camaros pulling off.
55 is in trouble.
Trouble on the right rear corner. Looks like it's got a bent wheel, badly bent wheel, which is indicating he probably made car-to-car contact with someone, and we have another full course caution out.
Devin Cates is behind the wheel of that Camaro. And we go under our second full course yellow. And with that move that we enjoyed, more trouble here for the 05 now.
Another one of the Camaros.
This is Jeff Nowicki.
I kind of think both of these are
related
to one another.
Devin Cates had a great performance last year in the VW Jetta TDI Cup Series. Was really one of the front runners all season long, and he's got another teammate, Joey Atterbury, from the same series working together this year.
See front suspension damage on the 05. I think he's broken a tie rod on that right front there.
Well, we were enjoying some good GS and ST battles. Let's talk more about a new, not necessarily team, but certainly a new car in ST with Chris.
Yeah, Lee, we've been talking about all these new makes and models, and Kia Motors with their North American racing debut this weekend, picking Andy Lally and Nick Janssen to take the controls of this Kia Forte. Andy, tell us about this new program.
It's an exciting program with the Kia Forte. It's been a great car to work with off the start. Kinetic is just doing a wonderful job working hand in hand with Kia and bringing this program to the Grand Am Continental Challenge Series. And it's been a pretty awesome car right from the get-go, so I'm pretty pleased.
You've had so much success in this series, but bringing a new car in, obviously some teething issues. What are some of the struggles right now?
Probably our biggest struggle is the final drive in the car. It's not really so much a teething issue as it is just, you know, it's an economical car, fuel mileage wise, and if we were to get our 6th gear up to redline, we'd be doing over 200 miles an hour. So if we can get Grand Am to give us a little concession on a final drive, I think we're going to get this Kia Forte farther and farther up the front, and Kinetic's going to be able to give us a better and better car every weekend.
Well, Andy, talking about that final drive in this series, really not supposed to mess with the gearbox too much, so it's supposed to be the gearbox that comes out of the factory. And on this racetrack, Daytona, how big it is, these guys only get up to 4th gear. in a 6-gear gearbox.
I told Andy, don't turn for the infield. Just go on down there NASCAR turn 1, because if that thing's going to run 200, it's going to need a little room.
That's one of the Kinetic Motorsports team principals behind the wheel. Nick Johnson, the Georgia-based team, hard at work with their new Kia Forte program. We'll be back. Tomorrow is the big one, the Daytona 500, and I want to remind you about NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot. It's live from 9 a.m. Eastern tomorrow morning. Again, that's NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot, live at 9 Eastern, NASCAR on Speed. We are all looking forward to that. We're looking forward to getting things going here, though, getting some momentum in the Fresh from Florida 200, because it's been a stop-start affair. That is somewhat the trend here in this race at the beginning of each season. There's so many cars, everyone's keen to get going, and some little hiccups do tend to trip us up somewhat. However, at the front, it's been pretty smooth sailing. BMW, Mustang.
The lap car there, right? The 89 car had some contact just a short while ago, so he's in the mix there. Then the 3 Rehagen cars right behind that white Porsche, Dorsey. That
white Porsche hopefully will move down out of the way and let these guys by. Otherwise, he might get moved down out of the way.
Once again, the green flag flies here at Daytona, and Andy Pilgrim has a clear track ahead. Can Foster get any momentum on him? Can he get close enough to execute a pass early on?
I think the key is, Dorsey, these drivers are still feeling out these machines. I mean, Andy did a little bit of testing with this BMW earlier this month. He expected to be on holiday in Brazil this weekend and got the late call to fill in for Brian Kabinski, but what a job he did in qualifying. Right now, he's feeling the heat from Joe Foster.
There's so many new cars and new teams, so a lot of, I'm not going to say rookie drivers, but rookie to the situation.
The man sitting in second only 2 years ago was this series champion, along with his teammate for this year, Scott Maxwell. These guys know how to get it done. So does the boy out front as well.
And I tell you what, Jack Roush Jr. showed a lot of aggression last year. I think for he and Billy Johnson, they can certainly be a championship threat, but they need to display some patience, and Jack is doing that right now. But you talked about the experience up front. Andy Pilgrim, he has that nice little cushion there. When you got that couple of car lengths, Dorsey, it allows you just to hit your braking marks. You don't have to defend on the inside, and you get a good exit up onto this banking.
Hey, Calvin, you talk about all that experience, whether it's Rolex Sports Car Experience, American Le Mans, World Challenge. He's so deep when it comes to modern era stuff in the Continental Challenge here. Andy hasn't been in one of these cars for quite a few years, but he does have production car experience back in the 90s, back to 1998, when this was essentially the Motorola Cup Series. He and Terry Borcheller, the driver from the sister car on the team, won that championship. So when it comes to these production-based cars, Andy knows how to get it done.
Updating you some information from race control. 4 cars being penalized for allegedly jumping the start, and the most highly affected car is the 37, the Seafuse Gouet Mustang. That's going to hurt because they're currently in 7th.
The rule not to pass a car before the start-finish line. I saw that pass happen, and I didn't want to say anything about it because I didn't want to jinx someone. But you can't at the green just start passing. You got to start past the start-finish.
Great battle up front, guys, as you watch the Mustangs head down into turn 1. Now, Joe Foster in that beautiful orange, yellow-colored number 15. The colors Parnelli Jones ran back in 1960 in that Mustang, but a very different Mustang behind him in Jack Roush's hands. One, the Ford Mustang GT that Jack Roush is driving, and then the newer Ford Boss 302 up front. That is a fuel-injected engine in the Boss 302. And obviously some excitement out on the racetrack, guys. Now, one of the things that Larry Holt from Multimatic was telling me is this new Mustang just not getting the mileage that they did with the older car. And remember, the older car, you'll see it. Jack Roush has a rear wing, and Joe Foster does not. Just a small spoiler in the back.
Jack Roush not afraid to mix it up. Just gave Joe Foster a little tap there, trying to unsettle the 15. The Ford Multimatic entry. And Joe was not phased. Good forceful driving, though.
It was, I mean, but you have to display some patience. I mean, you can cut down a tire so easily by making that sort of move, and that can literally ruin the race, and then it puts you in the hole for the championship, Dawes.
That's for sure. In fact, we saw that. And, you know, that restart, let's talk about that for a minute, because when the pass was made for the restart, it was for that lap Porsche. That's what got passed, so I think that's why the drivers were caught out a little bit. They weren't passing for position, but they did, in fact, pass the car that was on the racetrack.
Great story with this guy, young 19-year-old Frankie Monte Calvo, who's paired with Gunnar Jeanette. This is the second Multimatic entry, the Boss 302. And this young man has come along in big strides.
He really has. He's gaining a lot of experience. He's actually been doing some testing since the test days here early in January in a prototype machine, and he really had to try and get back into a rhythm with this sedan form of racing. He said, boy, I'm used to a lot more downforce. So I spoke to Larry Holt this morning. He said, I think he went a bit backwards in terms of where we felt he should qualify the car, but right now showing great strength here. The car had a little bit of a fuel pickup issue in the morning warm-up, so there is some concern on that team that when the tank gets low, it may not be getting all of the fuel out, and that may affect their strategy a bit.
Jack Rouse Jr. on the inside of Joe Foster. Patience has paid off. He executes the move and puts the 61 Roush Performance Mustang up into second place.
Well, that was a very powerful move there, and Brian talked about the different performance of these two Mustangs. Very different engines, of course, in his early days for the ones in the Boss 302R. Spoke to Larry Holt this morning. There we see one of the Turner Motorsports BMWs off to the side of the road, and that's the 96 car.
Paul Dall'Alana, who qualified 10th, he dropped back about 6 or 7 places early on, and this is not good.
This is the defending champion.
Yeah, this car was reported as going slow on the racetrack before he pulled it down out of harm's way.
They won the race here last year with a 6-cylinder model. The E46 is the E92 that Billy Oberlin and Paul are going to try and go for the championship with, but this is massive.
Team getting set up down here to accept the 96 when it comes in, but I talked to Bill Oberlin earlier about this car, and he said there is something weird in the back end this weekend with this car. It wants to self-steer itself, almost like a bump steer issue, which, Calvin, I know you and Dorsey can talk more about, but he said it is very unsettling. Even up on the banking, the car wants to get sideways, so perhaps something broke, or whatever the problem was has now reared its ugly head by deflating that right rear tire. Any way you look at it, problems, big problems for that new E92 with Turner Motorsports.
Well, when you have a car at Daytona on the high bank and it's steering itself from behind, something's broke, and they should have been looking real hard for that. But I kind of tend to believe what you just said, Brian, that this problem, something in the back end's probably given up on that.
Yeah, and bump steer essentially is where, as the suspension goes through its full range of travel motion, it doesn't keep the same alignment. The geometry is changing, and that's really hard for the driver to keep up with.
You see the 52 Rehagen Mustang go past this top 3 in ST. It just came in. Bob McCallion was running in the top 5. He was one of the first front runners to pit in this race. The 66 is the ST, the street tuner class leader, and that is the Riley Mazda. Jamison Riley behind the wheel. The 75 of Zach Lutz is up to second, ahead of the 25 Mazda MX-5 of Derek Whitus. And our early leader in the Compass 360 machine, David Thelenius, has dropped back 1 spot. So that's the way they sit at the top of the field in ST.
These are the first laps right in this area that the cars are starting to get a rhythm built up, and we had those 2 full course cautions, and that's a bit frustrating. Now the tires are up. Here's a problem. Oh, 24 car almost rolls out and gets tagged for what looks to be a simple spin in the chicane back there.
I'll tell you what, the guy on the inside must have had a heart attack. He's already pinching it, and then the guy aims his car at you as well.
Now, this is a bad place to be spun. This is the outside of turn 2.
Steve Miller behind the wheel.
And the only way to go, Calvin, is going to be right in the direct path the car's coming around, and that's a blind corner.
Yeah, this car's sharing with Spencer Pumpelli, so TRG.
Just like that.
They really feel they're going to be in better shape this year. The Porsches now have a 3.8-liter motor. They had a 3.6 last year, and Spencer believes that has given them the edge that they can get back to victory lane once again.
This is Laura Olson in trouble in the next generation motorsports BMW. This car has been on and off pit road throughout this race. Let's take a look at a replay. This may tell us more, and it does.
And she loses the car. Simple spin, but watch, she doesn't lock the brakes up immediately. Rolls back, and now she's right in the way.
Oh, that's the 12 car there.
Good save by the 12
car.
Just got loose on entry, Cal. Real loose.
Yeah.
24 of Ari Strauss.
As we said, the inside of these curbs now are very soft, almost like a beach, and it just digs in and will turn you around in a hurry.
This is what it looks like if you're riding on board with the Kia. Where do you want to go here? Ooh.
Take your pick.
Needle.
One Kia went one way and the other went the other. And the first shot we've seen of the Rum Bum Racing BMW. That's another one of the V8 powered E92 BMWs. We'll see more of that when we come back.
Sunday.
200, it's the opening round of the 2010 season for the Continental Tire Sports Car Challenge. And this man here in the 4-line motorsports E92 BMW, Andy Pilgrim, has not been headed so far today. A couple of restarts, 2 full course caution periods. There's been highs and lows so far, but Andy has been faultless. This man here, Jack Rouse Jr. in the Rouse Performance Mustang, had a very strong fight with Joe Foster. He won that battle and has now eked away and has got a little advantage on Joe, who's now fighting off a challenge from behind as well. There's plenty of challenges coming. The Rum Bum Racing BMW, it's there, just there in the background, the multicolored machine. So too is Ryan Winchester in the 60 for Rahagan Racing. These Mustangs are well placed today. Charles Putnam's up there. That's one of the multiple 4-line entries doing well. And Andrew Cadell, who's dropped back a couple of positions, is starting to rally now. So lots going on in the top 7 or 8 positions.
Well, Andy Pilgrim has the fastest race lap right now at 2:01.6, but all of the top 5 have run laps under 2:02. But Andy just getting a really good run through the traffic, keeping it nice and clean and stretching that gap now up to 5.7 seconds over the second place Roush.
In ST, there has been lots going on while we're away. There's Gian Bacardi. This is his professional racing debut. He has been coached by Matt Plum over the past 5 or 6 months. Chris, this is an interesting story.
Yeah, real interesting story there, Lee. Matt Plum going to be helping out Gian Bacardi in his rookie season in the Continental Tire Series. Gian, just a couple years ago, started working with Matt as a coach, and at that point in time, Gian didn't even really know how to drive a manual transmission, so it's come everything from learning to drive a manual transmission up through the club ranks of motorsports. Last year, he ran 10 club races, won 6 of them, so the young man is obviously doing well, running great in his first pro race. And Matt Plum standing by on the wall, ready to get behind the wheel of that new BMW E92.
They're going to be awfully strong. This car was also built by 4Line, the team that currently leads this race. And when you get Matt Plum together with a car that's led by Joe Fardy, they are going to be awfully strong, Dorsey.
You know, I think sometimes to teach a racing driver to be a racing driver would be easier if they hadn't driven before, because they don't have to kind of unlearn all the bad habits, if you know what I mean.
It's like Lee's golf game, I think.
Exactly.
There is no fixing that, you know that. Here's one of the 4-line cars. This is the second one in the order. This is Charles Putnam, and he'll be teaming up with Charles Espenlaub this year. This is a good combination and a very good car. 4-line build, beautiful machines. There's the 16. That's the second car we spoke about. Frankie Monte Calvo a little earlier. We ride with him now. Big season ahead. He and Gunnar Jeanette drove in the Kinetic BMWs together last year. That's where they bonded, formed their relationship. They've come together nicely as a driving partnership. What can they do in this Boss 302 in 2010?
And you saw just a little minor mistake right there as they went side by side through that kink, which means that both cars had to slow up quite a bit to make that work.
This is essentially the debut of this new 5-liter Ford V8, so it's very exciting time. There's only 10 motors have been built, so Larry Holt said we can probably service about 7 cars, and then in the middle of the season it becomes a production-based engine, and they'll have a lot more supply, of course.
This is Andrew Cadell supporting some iRacing.com sponsorship this weekend, and Brian can tell us more about the 59.
Well, Lee, we've seen Andrew Cadell dropping back a bit here over the last 15 minutes to half an hour or so. And the reason is, I checked in with Dean Martin, Kenny Wilden. He has some type of a bobble coming off the corners. They think it's electrical. They think it may have something to do with the ECU. If they get another caution here, they will bring him in and they will try to see if they can find anything. The problem is they don't have a spare ECU to replace it with. This is a new style. The wiring harness not set up to take the old one. They're going to see if they can borrow another ECU from another team, but as strong as the competition is right now, no one else may be willing to loan one, or maybe no one else has one. But right now, Cadell having a hard time getting off the corners.
Well, I thought I saw Andrew miss a shift. Now it explains it's an electrical problem. Of course, the ECU is the electronic control unit, or the computer or the brain that makes the car run, and that's what Brian's talking about.
What they can maybe do, Dorsey, during the pit stop is just shut everything down, reset it, and just hope that they'll all trip the computer and get it back to normal form. But he's dropping down a little bit, still doing a pretty good job, but down towards the outside of the top 10, or the bottom end of the top 10, and we expect him to be pushing for the lead here in the early going.
From GS to ST, let's talk more about this class, because Jamison Riley is doing a very nice job. His brother will take over a little later on in the race. The 25 of Derek White is still hanging on. So too is Zach Lutz.
And the little Mini Cooper, which was up in that fray, must have had a little bit of a problem, because that's Sarah's dropped now back to 4th.
That's what's great about any new season. You get these surprises, Dorsey. I mean, we were looking at the entry list, looking at the form after qualifying, and suddenly there's these new partnerships, these new combinations that really come alive. I mean, who would have expected Jamison to be leading this very strong ST field in the first race of this championship season?
And here comes our camera car with a big toe. Watch this now as you see the draft in full effect here on the high banks of Daytona.
Well, he said this got him the pole by towing his way around this racetrack, and there you can see the effect.
Chooses to go high. I'm sure he would rather have gone low, but that's not going to happen. Bump draft.
Oh, a little bump draft.
Nice. Love it.
So these two guys obviously working with each other. That was a help.
They're trying to get away from Sarah Catania, who's doing a wonderful job in the 197 Mini, who's a little further back now. She was right up there just say maybe a lap or two ago, mixing it with these guys. And she's still pushing on hard.
Dropped a position there, I think. I think she may be down to 4th now, but still doing a brilliant job in this little Mini. And she has experience in NASA, just 23 years old, and could be the revelation of our season. We didn't expect her to come out of the box so strong.
Well, she was right up there, too, up almost to 2nd place. And obviously had a little look underneath the car. There's something that's wiggling around down there. Might have been off the racetrack a little bit.
Just the two the RSR Minis here this weekend. However, they will try and field 3 later in the season, maybe even as recently as soon as Homestead. The next round, we'll wait and see. Vijay Mazayan is Sarah's co-driver here at Daytona, so he'll take over a little later on, just like Owen Trinker will take over from team principal Randy Smalley. They've made a switch in terms of the team and the business that prepped these Minis now. They have moved to the Florida-based automatic racing. So some fresh changes for Team RSR in 2010. Brian?
Well, talk about Compass 360, 4 of those very potent Honda Civics for them. And you guys talking about new driver pairings, Ryan Eversley and Zach Lutz in the 75 running well. Now, Lutz, another one of those drivers coming from the Mustang Challenge. And I talked to Carl Thompson, one of the principals at Compass 360, and I said, surprises me that he can drive this front-wheel drive car so well. And he said, you know, the Mustang Challenge really is about carrying momentum and trying to conserve the car because it's a heavy car, and you really have to do the same thing here with this Civic. So even though it's front-wheel drive, the theory behind the driving is all the same. Conserve, 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 and don't overdrive it. And that's why we're seeing a lot of these Mustang Challenge guys do so well. So not at all surprising to see the car run well, because Compass 360 so strong, the championship winners last year in the ST class. But Zach Lutz right now having a great drive.
There are actually 14 drivers in this Continental Tire race today from that Mustang Challenge Series, so it's a good feeder class.
And they're all doing well.
And they're all doing well, yes.
Look at the Compass 360 Hondas. Here they come, and they swoop right around the outside of Sarah Catania. And the 77 of Donald Teach, who we haven't really seen a lot of today. Keep an eye out for him. The 74 is back in the mix. That's David Thelenius, who we saw start so well, qualify so well. And the orange machines, here they come. The march forward.
I think Sarah was a little outnumbered back there. All she can see is orange.
Well, we're used to seeing 3 Compass cars together. Remember, they had President had swept the podium last year and immediately got 100 pounds added to the cars. Talking to Carl Thompson, he said, we're still working with that. It really affects brake wear, tire wear. Not so much here at Daytona, but certainly when we get to the tight, twisty stuff, we're really hammering the brakes. We will have to conserve those, but still the cars are really strong. I think they're really the performance bar in this ST class.
Dramas here for one of our new Kia Fortes. This is Nick Johnson. This is the car. You saw the hood fly up and smash the windshield earlier today. We showed you that. There's been contact from behind.
And to knock that bumper panel off and that thing up is probably a good hit. Let's take a look here. Down into turn 1. This is another car, another incident, though. The 51-21 get together. Ooh, oh, that's payback, not intentional. But
one of the Irish Mike Jettas there, 3-car team. They've really upped the ante this year. Just ran a couple of races last year. Now a full-blown 3-car effort. They've certainly ramped things up as well.
Nick Johnson getting this wounded car off to the side of the racetrack, which is...
I tell you, if someone did that to him, Dorsey, without him backing into the fence, that was a massive hit.
Yeah, he's been into something hard. You can see that bumper support underneath there is pushed way up under the car. This is one of our onboard cars.
They've been pounding the pavement recently at Road Atlanta, and the key with the development is really to just try and see what breaks. But right now, it looks like he's got no power.
Did he just get run into from the other car?
Possibly. I heard the noise, but didn't see much of a bump there from the onboard.
Kind of strange one. I mean, there was a noise there, but it wasn't a big hit.
And that was one of the sister Kinetic cars. However, it wasn't another Kia. That was one of the Kinetic BMWs that was the next car on the scene. Andy Pilgrim still leads the way overall. We'll be back. If you want to see some of the hottest two-wheeled racing on television, it is right here on Speed next Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern. It is Supercross, the AMA Supercross from Indianapolis. It's live right here on Speed. What a season it's been. The rise and rise of Ryan Dungey and the hard times experienced by Chad Reed and James Stewart. Great lights racing as well. So that's AMA Supercross live from Indianapolis right here on Speed next Saturday at 8. What a drive it's been from Gian Bacardi to be running as high as second in class in GS, chasing down Andy Pilgrim. Here's our race leader. No one has been in front of the Englishman who now calls America home.
Yeah, he's done a brilliant job out there, Dorsey. Just over an hour's run now with some caution, so they're stretching this first initial run of the season. But Gian Bacardi and that Giovanni prep car is doing a tremendous job. He's running lap times under the 202 bracket now, so just 3/10 off the leader.
22 here with a simple spin so far, but he almost got tagged there. Andy Pilgrim's got a 23-second lead on Gian Bacardi. That's unbelievable. Gunter Schmidt here. That is the International Horseshoe, and I say that's the slipperiest corner in America. I mean, it's just unbelievable how slippery that track is, particularly at night.
Last year was a big learning year with these E92 BMWs. Speaking of them, let's go down. Pit stop time at 4 line.
Well, hey, I said these guys were going to be contenders in 2010, and these guys right now running first in the 46 car and third in the 48 car. Charles Putnam handing over to Charles Espinlaub. This team looking so strong here today. Espinlaub had that very scary fire late last year in December at the 25 Hours of Thunder Hill. His car caught fire. He had some pretty significant burns on his hands. Talking to him this week, and he said he's in great shape. His hands look good, obviously scarred, but he said he has good feeling in his hands, not much pain there anymore. So he's excited to get back into some Rolex competition and Continental Tire competition today. Good pit stop by this crew, done fuel, and this team also saying that they probably will not have to come back to pit lane. Ryan.
Guys, you talk about the big lead Andy Pilgrim has. Part of the reason a lot of the Mustangs behind him have already dove to pit lane. One of those running up front was Jack Roush Jr. in the 61. Looked like a routine stop, but then once the crew got the left side of the car up, they went to work on the left rear brake assembly. Looks like the piston was out of the caliper, Dorsey, as I got to the car, and they are still sitting there looking at it, trying to figure out how to make repairs on the 61. So after that very strong running, problems for Roush. Also, the 59 came to pit road. We saw last year's champion Ken Wilden get behind the wheel, but the crew went to work underneath the hood, tightening up fuel rails, battery terminals, everything they could to try to fix that stumble that Andrew Cadell had when he was on track.
Well, this is a very strange situation here. When a piston comes out of a caliper, that usually means that the brake pad's missing. So what might have happened is the brake material dislodged from the backing plate that it's bonded to, chucked out from there, and then the piston came out. In any event, the rear brakes wouldn't be what wore out on the car first. It would always be the fronts. So something strange happening with the Jack Roush car.
How far away is that important pit stop for our race leader? And Matt Plum is standing by at the Rum Bum team to take over from Gian Bacardi. This one's far from done. The season opening event in the Continental Tire Sports Car Challenge. It's the Fresh from Florida 200, an event we look forward to each and every year because it gets us going in this series. And there's a lot to talk about, not only new teams, new cars, drivers. How about this? Andy Pilgrim has led from start until this pit position. But what happened?
Well, it's a three-car effort here. Andy comes into the pit stalls and suddenly blows through that yellow sign that we can see from our angle. They tried to connect the refueling, realized it's the wrong car. Mark Bowden's trying to push the car back into the correct pit box as there are other cars going to be pitting here momentarily. So this cost them dearly. When he got back out on the racetrack, suddenly it dropped over a dozen positions. That is a disaster for Andy Pilgrim and that team.
All right, let's hear from the man himself. Chris?
Yeah, Andy had that mistake here, obviously entering pit lane. But Andy, you had a great run in the car. Obviously, that BMW running strong today.
It's running really well. The setup, we did a lot of work with the four-line guys on setup, and that's really why I came here, I guess. It was part of to help him set the car up. And the car was just perfect. I mean, it was perfect off the corners. You kind of have to drive it with your fingertips, you know, and just feel it out. But, I mean, power down, braking, everything was really good, as long as you didn't rush it, you know. And it was like I could see the Mustang guys having a hard time off the corners in the infield, and I just was trying to baby it. Maybe because we got less torque, the car probably a little better. Easy to drive, I don't know.
Now his teammates got a lot of work to get that car back up front.
Yeah, Mark Bowden back down in 13th place, and he's mired in the traffic. Will have to work his way through. Someone who's not mired in traffic is the 60 car. This is the combination of Ryan Winchester and Ray Mason. What a performance from this car.
It is. They haven't done the driver change. Most of the other cars up front have done a driver change during this caution period, but Ryan Winchester stays behind the wheel, but has pretty much a full fuel load, so he'll be strong here, Dorsey, in this second stint.
You know, Ryan Winchester did a little brake check at start-finish line to get that advantage. I don't know if he's going to be called out on that or not. You're not supposed to change the momentum of the car. He certainly did, though.
Does that color scheme look familiar? The Sunoco Camaro. Dorsey spoke about it right at the top of the show. That the pair of them for Stevenson Motorsports have been trying to work their way through. This is now the 6 of Jeff Bucknam, running strong, pushing his way through the field.
You can tell by looking at that car, he's kept it out of trouble. He hasn't been up in the fray with everybody else. But now look at this, door to door.
This could get ugly. There's the Riley machine there that was leading ST before we had that caution period. But Jeff doing a good job getting used to this big, heavy car. He debuted this car with David Donahue at the season finale at VIR, and has a lot of potential, but still trying to work out the bugs.
Should give a shout out to Matt Bell, who did well early on in the race. Look at this traffic, 4 wide on the banking. The ST and GS cars trying to sort themselves out. Here comes Matt Plum. Look at the speed differential here, and he's on the inside heading to the bus stop.
And it's going to be really, really crowded down there if they don't sort it out.
Wow, that was a decisive move. He is going to be super strong here. He is my favorite to get this victory here today, but he's got a long way to go.
While they sort themselves on the track, let's go to Brian Till with more.
You know, the Mazdas were running strong today. One of the Mazda drivers, Patrick Dempsey, also driving in the Rolex 24 this weekend. Anything to get track time, huh?
Oh, yeah, it's great to get out there and run with everybody. Such a huge field. Freedom Motorsports did a great job preparing the car. It's just really fun to be out there running with everybody. It's very competitive. The Mazda Speed 3 is the first time it's really raced out there, and it's doing really well. I think there's a lot to build on from this race.
3 miles too far on a tank of fuel?
We were so close. We had it timed out. We were just like, let's push it, and one more lap, we would have been all right. It's too bad.
And we're talking about Mazda running strong. Derek White is on the pole in the ST class. And Derek, great run early on. We talked about the drafting capabilities of that little MX-5, and it looked like when you tucked up underneath somebody, you could really hang with them.
Yeah, that Mazda MX-5 powered by Lock is kind of the little car that can go. It's pretty good on the straightaways. It's great in the braking, and it's good in the corners. Hi to Courtney and Carson at home.
And that pole run for you, a little bit of draft help there, or was it all Derek Whitus behind the wheel?
I think it was all Derek behind the wheel, plus a whole lot of draft help. But, you know, the guys here at Freedom Autosport with Mazda do a great job. And one of our big things with Freedom Autosport is it's a small way for us to say thanks to all the men and women out there in the armed services who've been protecting our country for the last 230 years.
And they deserve a big thanks. Lee?
And Tom Long has taken over the wheel of the Freedom Autosport Mazda MX-5. Tom's father, Glenn Long from Long Road Racing, preps those cars, and it's a real racing family because Tom's brother works at the Earnhardt Ganassi Sprint Cup shop. So that family really know racing. Just like this family, the Plum family. Both brothers are in the race this weekend, Matt and Hugh. And Matt is doing a fine job in the Rum-Bum BMW.
See the BMW there just powered by that Camaro. That Camaro got 75 pounds added to it and a smaller restrictor put on the engine, Dorsey, after VIR. But I think right now we can see it doesn't have the grunt or the straight line speed of some of these other front-running GS cars right now. But they'll analyze, they'll make some adjustments. Expect that car to be up front before the season finishes.
Terry Borchella in the orange and black four-line BMW is next on Matt Plum's list. Check this out. He's in the draft, goes low on the banking.
No contest. That BMW is on rails. You called it, Calvin. You said this is the guy to watch. I agree with you wholly.
Chris?
Well, Cal, you said he's your favorite out there, but he's got a little bit more work than probably what they expected after that caution, because when Gian Bacardi came to pit lane, he came in right behind Andy Pilgrim. We saw the problems with Andy Pilgrim, so I was anticipating that rum bum car to be able to get right around him in pit lane here, but the team got a penalty. They had to hold for about 30 seconds because their fueler did not have goggles on. So they had a penalty, held here, lost quite a few positions on the racetrack, but it doesn't look like it's slowing down, Matt Plum.
Plum has just set the fastest lap of the race at a 2:01, 2:01.290. There is no stopping this man, who at one stage was leading the Rolex 24 overall. He loves this track and can really hustle a car around Daytona.
And these are the kind of penalties you get at the beginning of the season when a fuel man forgets he's got to have those visor down. And it's costly. 30 seconds is a long time. Luckily, we're on caution. So.
Look at this up front. One of the other BMWs looking awfully strong right now. The four-line car, the number 48, Charles Espenlaub, pushing Ryan Winchester for the lead. He said he's very comfortable with this car. He said they analyzed which team to run with this year. When Jim Bell jumped on board with the four-line motorsports team, they said, you know what? This is the way to go for he and Charlie Putnam.
I'm just not used to that roar of a V8 and look up to see a BMW going by.
It's Winchester, Espenlaub, and then Maxwell, the Maxwell Foster car. Gunnar Jeanette is fourth in the 16, then Matt Plum, then Terry Borchella, Jeff Bucknam, Spencer Pumpelly, Rob Finlay, and James Guay. That's the top 10 overall and in GS.
Winchester starting to defend there down onto the bus stop, the braking zone there, and that's going to cost him time. When you take that shallow entry, you really can't set up that sequence of corners. It's going to hurt your exit speed.
I think Espenlaub had been better off to stay right behind the Mustang a little bit longer to help get more of a momentum on the draft.
All week long, the paddock has been buzzing about the performance of these E92 V8-powered BMW. They said on the radar gun, it supposedly had like 3 to 5 miles an hour over the Mustangs that really dominates here typically around this high-speed oval.
Look at Charles Espenlaub. Look at the 48, just working the lines, looking for every way by. Now he draws alongside, but he's on the wrong side going in to the East Horseshoe, the International Horseshoe.
This is going to allow Maxwell in that 15 car to catch these guys. Got to tell you, Winchester's running defensive line stores, just costing him lap time.
Yeah, Espenlaub moving inside, outside, back and forth, trying to find a way by. But when you're running side by side, you can't run as quickly, and they're going to slow up here in a minute.
Quick verbal update on ST. Greg Lefouge is out in front in ST. Second at the moment is Jamison Riley. And then it is battle. Lawson Archenbach, I should say, as we speak, just moved into the top 3. So plenty of positional changes there as well.
Greg Lefouge, though, hasn't done a pit stop yet. The other ST leaders have, so he's going to have to hit pit lane pretty shortly, I would think, even though those Civics go a long way.
Here's where Charles needs to make his move. He needs to quit doing that back and forth business. Work this straightaway. Use the draft. Don't pop out too early. Look at the BMW. It's getting sucked up on the Mustang. But just keep behind him until you're just about to hit, and then pop out and get your run. He'd love to go to the inside. I doubt that'll happen.
But right now, Ryan was defending that inside. There you see him. He's going down the left side of the straightaway. There's a lot of race left here to be defending like this, Dorsey. I don't really understand it. It'd be better to let Charles go if he's a bit quicker and run with him than slowing down his own lap time.
Speaking of lap time, Matt Plum has gone one better again. A 2-minute flat, .676. There is no stopping that rum-bum BMW in the top 5. How far can he go? We'll find out. Quick reminder about Dangerous Drive. It's 8 p.m. Eastern right here on Speed. Meet the daring who face down fear behind the wheel. Wednesday Speed introduces you to the men who provide the ultimate in personal safety. Dangerous Drives, Executive Protection Wednesday. That's 8 p.m. Eastern on Speed.
That doesn't look right, does it?
That looks like a dangerous drive right there.
Yeah, I'd say that's a very dangerous drive.
One of the Jim Click Mustangs in trouble. That is the 53 going behind the wall. Meanwhile, up front, look at this. It's all BMW 1-2. Charles Espenlaub trying to hold off Matt Plum, who continually sets fastest lap after fastest lap. He has just exceeded his own quickest lap on 2 occasions, and he just did a 2-minute flat .4, which was some 0.2 better than his quickest lap. He's going to the top.
Well, he's about a second a lap faster than Charles Espenlaub's best right now, so Charles is going to have his hands full. And there we see him look to the inside. Charles immediately defends, and I think he's going to put up a hard fight here, Dorsey, but it may not last long.
Yeah, Matt Plum came through the field like it wasn't even there. It's not going to be very long before he goes by for Charles Espinal for the lead.
Chris, tell us more about these BMW boys.
Well, on that last pit stop, I initially reported that they said that they were going to be able to go to the finish. Check back in with Jim Bell, who's managing this team, and he said, well, I was saying that in anticipation for as many cautions as we had in the first half of this race. Obviously, we aren't having that in the second half of the race, so this team going to be a little bit short on fuel. Also, the Rum Bum Racing team a little bit short on fuel. Both of these teams reporting right now that they're going to have to come in for a splash of about 6 to 8 seconds of fuel late in the going.
Watch Matt Plum here on the banking. He's got a good draft going, huge momentum, going to swing to the outside, and this is what he's done to everybody. He just drives right by him.
Well, the car is built by 4Line, but there seems to be a difference in straightaway speed, whether it's aero or whether it's sheer horsepower. But Matt Plum looking awfully tough here. And Charles Espinal has 3 laps less fuel than Matt on board as well. They pitted just a little bit earlier. Terry Borchella, though, still in the mix. Another 4Line car in third. He pitted on the same lap as Matt Plum.
97's in and Brian's there.
Fuel only for Joey Hand. Michael Marsal, the teammate who qualified the car and started it, handed over to Joey Hand. This should be their last stop. They should be good to go to the green. So a little strategic play here by Will Turner to get the fuel in the car and get it back out on the racetrack. See if Joey Hand can take it to the front. Now, I noticed him pumping the clutch as he sat here for this stop. So obviously a little bit of a clutch problem. I'm sure they get hot here sitting still. So a little heat sink. Joey Hand taking care of the clutch. The fuel is in and he's out and gone, guys.
Well, I think that's a great call by Turner there, because they're not really a factor in terms of being right at the front of the pack, but they make the call. They're one of the leaders to make their last pit stop first. So if there is a yellow before the other leaders pit lane would close. They would then jump up in terms of track position.
That may be the last time, too, we see the E46 BMW campaign by Turner. They have one E92, one E46. They're trying as hard as they can to get the E92 ready for the second round of the championship. Let's talk ST for a moment, because it remains the 66, Jamison Riley in the RX-8 out in front over Lawson Archenbach in the 74 Compass 360, and Benoit Tige runs third in the 77. Brian?
Talking about Will Turner and the BMW, I talked to him earlier. He said they will have that E92 at Homestead, so it's all said and done. Should also comment on the other E92 that Bill Auberlin drove earlier and had the problem. We surmised it was some type of a rear end problem or something with the rear end of the car, because we saw the smoke. When I checked in with Turner, he said you saw oil smoke. The engine expired on the 96.
Yeah, that's what we saw out there. I saw a lot of oil when it turned sideways. We thought it might have been a rear end, but it was just oil on the rear tires.
Compass 360 boys looking strong once again, running second and third. Lawson Archenbach will be awfully tough this year. He won this race last year, of course, with Pat Iannucci, and right now he's got a great teammate and a great car underneath him, so he is definitely a championship threat. And Carl Thompson was really high on how professional he is and his real great approach to racing.
Taking a look at one of the Kias out there, the 12 car. We saw trouble with the other car, the 10 car.
Yeah, Dorsey, about 3-4 laps ago, I saw Andy Lally come down pit lane, take it behind the wall. The team reporting that they think there's some type of little electrical glitch with the car. They were going to try and get it worked on, then get back out on the racetrack, because obviously we're looking at a season's worth of championship points here, and they want to get as many as possible in round one. So they're hoping to get that car. If they haven't yet gotten the car back out on pit lane, out on the racetrack, they're hoping to.
That's Adam Burrows right now we're watching in the 12 car, and this is the first time for these Kias, so they have a big steep learning curve.
What they did too is, because the team is based just up the road, literally just up the road from Road Atlanta in Brazelton in Georgia, and rather than renting the track for a whole day at a time and whether they experienced problems or whatever, they took quite a unique view. They rented the track per hour. And they would go, and if they had a problem after 1 hour, then they would go back. If they had multiple hours, they would keep it going. And they use their time and money and resources very wisely. This is Terry Borchella aboard the 4-line BMW. Andrew Hendricks is going to be forming a good partnership this year. 4-line have come out with the intentions of not only winning races, but winning the championship. And that is Terry behind the wheel. Even though the graphics said it was Hendricks, Terry has taken over. We saw that driver change executed a little early on. And it's Matt Plum, Charles Espinal, Terry Borchella, Ryan Winchester, Gunnar Jeanette up into the top 5, Bucknam now up into the top 6, Rob Finlay, Mark Bowden, John Potter is up into 9th now, and then Todd Schneider is in the top 10.
Good to see Terry Borchella back behind the wheel. He had a little dry spell for a while there. He dropped out. And, you know, you start thinking as a race car driver, once that happens to you, am I finished up or not? You know, luckily for Terry, he just he kept coming around, and he's back and he's competitive.
Well, and he's in a great position too. He's teamed up once again with Jim Bell, who he shared so much success with, and he feels really strongly about this car and the lineup that they have at 4-line. His teammate Charles Espinlard, who's running second right in front of him right now, has responded. He just ran his fastest lap of the race at a 2:01.3, but that is nothing like the leader Matt Plum is running right now. They need
Plum
some
having
work.
trouble though. Look at this, closing quickly on the rum bum car.
Chris?
Well, when you guys were saying about the straight line speed in that rum bum racing car, I went and I talked to Jim Bell really quick. I said, hey, the guys up top are telling me that rum bum car is looking like it's beating you down the streets. And he said, well, really, they're the same exact cars. So, you know, we're kind of having that same feeling. We're trying to figure out what's going on because it's definitely going by us like we're tied to a post on the straightaway. I immediately jumped over to Joe Vardy, who's managing the rum bum team, and he said, no, same exact car, but as I'm watching this race, he's watching our monitors. He says, it looks to me like we're just getting through the bus stop a lot better than the fall line cars.
Well, something's happened because it's fallen into the clutches, if you will, of Charles Espinlab. I mean, he went right by Matt Plum, passed everybody in this field. Now he's got a race on his hands.
Well, you have to worry about tires too. I mean, he really worked very hard to make up that ground to get the car to the front of the pack. Maybe he's just overworked the tires a little bit, maybe just try to cool them down. Remember, he's got one more pit stop to go. We'll have to see what the strategy will be with the leading teams. If it's under green, will they elect to just take 2 tires instead of 4 and save some time on pit road?
That's a good point, Calvin. You can run these tires really, really hard for a while. And when they start to grease up on you, you have to back off and let them come back down on temperature, and then the car will come back to you, and that might be what we're seeing here.
Matt Plum just went by the 197 Mini of Vijay Marzayan, and he is currently 4th in the ST class. Here are our top 3 in ST. So the overall leader is coming up on the ST lead trio. Jamison Riley in the RX-8 has been faultless today, but he's got a couple of hot Compass 360s chasing him nice and hard. So ST is far from done as well. Look at the gap that's been closed right there. Second in ST, Lawson Archenbach. You heard Calvin say earlier, he's going to be extremely strong this year as he climbs high on the banking.
Popped a little too early for my liking. I think he could have stayed down there, tucked in a little bit longer.
Well, those Civics are awfully strong through the middle part of the straightaway there, and I think Lawson's in a position where he may be able to take the line away, but here comes Jamison Riley once again. Now, the key is there's just over 46 minutes to go, so if it's, oh, and there they go side by side down into the turn 1. This is ugly, Dawes.
Yeah, there's traffic in the way, and they're really fighting each other quite hard.
Just going to talk about his teammate. For his teammate to get points here today, he needs to get 30 minutes in the car, and there's only 46 minutes to go. So we expect to see him. Oh, and he got balked in traffic, the 74 car. Jamison slides to the outside and takes the lead back.
The good move for the 22, moves out of their way. Nowhere to go for him right there.
Gunter Schmidt behind the wheel of the 22. They're still trying to work through traffic. The 11 of Todd Schneider is trying to push his way through in the Mustang. That's the GS class car. And that has helped Jamison Riley out.
Pushed him right on through there, which is what Todd needed to do.
What a drive by Jamison Riley, really showing a lot of poise here as they're mixing it up with the faster GS machines as they slide their way through.
I think there was a little tag there between Lawson Archenbach and Terry Borchella, but no harm done. Both cars continue, and we will continue on the other side of this short break. Speed's coverage of the Continental Tire Sports Car Challenge is presented by Continental Tire. Innovative technology, driving confidence. Been plenty of confident driving here today, that's for sure. And we're starting to mix things up a little in the Fresh from Florida 200. It's the 4th full course caution. We welcome you back. Lee Diffie along with Calvin Fish and Dorsey Schrader, Chris Neville, Brian Till. It's been an interesting day so far, but watch this run for pit road. Terry Borchella stayed out. He came to pit road and then at the last minute switched and changed his mind. Meanwhile, Matt Plum is at his pit box.
He is, just over 38 minutes to go. It'll be a splash of fuel. Looks like they're going to do right side tires only. Now, I think for 4-line, they may be splitting their strategy. They brought Charles Espinlab in, and like Terry Borchella, the second of their 2 leading entries, was going to make that call to pit stop, and Jim Bell left him out.
Mark Bowden, the team principal at Four Line, he's in. He's behind the wheel of that 46. It was the early race leading car at the hands of Andy Pilgrim. Here we are right here. Chris?
Well, guys, I was anticipating that rum bum car to be a little bit slower or quicker stop. They were planning to just come in for a time stop, and obviously, since we got this caution and they did not come in before the caution like the 48 car did, they decided to go with some tires. But Esplanade was the guy who really rolled the lucky dice. Jim Bell bringing him in right before that caution. 12 seconds of fuel in that car, so they should be in great shape. Brian?
A little further down pit road in Multimatic, Gunnar Jeanette is in the 16. He was in third place as he rolled to pit road. They'll put fuel and 4 tires on this Mustang as he heads back out. Another one of the Boss 302s, the newer model cars, and it too is in historic colors as he heads back on track. The colors of the Mustangs in Trans Am in 1969.
Well, different strategies going on here. We talked about Charles Esplanade pitting, just taking fuel, no tires. We saw the rum bum car take 2, and there we see Gunnar Jeanette taking 4 tires. So there'll be different levels of grip at the end of this race. This was earlier. This was when we thought the caution was going to come out for that muffler on the racetrack. Jim Bell made the call, brought Charles to pit lane under green, but realizing he will leapfrog these other front-running cars when we line up for the restart.
And this is what Jim Bell saw that let him know that there was going to be a caution. There was a muffler that was laying out in the brake zone. There it is. Now, you can't ignore that because it can go right through a windshield. See there, it gets hit. So Jim Bell saw that muffler, knowing there was going to be a caution, got his man in first. That was brilliant.
That was a great call. And what's nice is when you got 3 cars, you can split the strategies too with Borschella.
That was the 8 Porsche of Ross Smith and Scott Schroeder. Contact with that muffler. Fortunately, nothing serious happened. We'll be back to go racing on the other side. We are back just in time to catch the green and what should be a fascinating run to the finish in the Fresh from Florida 200, the opening round of the 2010 Continental Tire Sports Car Challenge. Grand Sport and Street Tuner classes. It's been very close, hard-fought racing. We go back to green with Terry Borchella at the front of this field.
And it's a sprint race now. Half hour to go. No holding back. Whatever you got to show it.
The second place car is a little further back. Rob Finlay in the 52 as they sort themselves out going back to green. What Spencer Pumpelly got in the Porsche as he forces his way through. The BGB boys. The day has not quite gone to plan for them just yet as they try and make up several positions as well. Todd Snyder is still in the mix. John Potter in the 07.
Orange Machine is the second place car of Rob Finlay. Regular runner in the Rolex series for many years in Daytona prototypes, but certainly loves this form of racing as well. He's got some experience here. He's got a strong car here today, Dorsey, but the key is Terry Borchella did not take fuel. Will he be able to stretch it here in these final 30 minutes or so?
Well, that's a gutsy call. Well, maybe Chris could tell us that.
Yeah, you guys, it is a gutsy call. We saw Terry jink back onto the racetrack rather than coming to pit lane. Talked to Jim Bell about that. He said, well, you know, I really tried to work on some math there, and I'm hoping we can make it. He said, actually, now that he's done the numbers, they're coming up about a lap and a half short if this thing stays green. We get one more caution, they're good to go.
Wow. 2 cars fighting behind Terry. It's not for position. That's not for, well, for second position anyway. That's Todd Snyder and Guy Cosmo as they sort themselves out. Rob Finlay, Charles Esplanade. How far can the 48 go? And how about Matt Plum in the 13, the Rum Bum BMW? He's back in 10th. Can he work his way through ahead? Jeff Bucknam's in the mix. James Guay, we cannot discount that JBS Mustang. And Duncan Endy as well in the 23. There's some really good names at the front of this pack in Grand Sport.
There's some fast cars that we've seen lead the race this afternoon, have a little bit of work to do. You see it further back in that second pack, about to come on screen. Matt Plum, all the way back in 11th spot right now.
I don't think another caution is out of the question here, as hard as these guys are running right now, too.
A little bit of contact there between Rob Finlay and Ted Anthony, but there was no major harm done. The 6 is Jeff Bucknam in the Sunoco Camaro. Look for the 6. Run by Stevenson Motorsports now. It's a 2-car effort, just like it is in Grand Am Rolex Series sports car competition. And this is a massive year for the Stevenson group.
Oh, Mark Donahue fans are going to love that paint job. No question about it. It's excited a lot of people. The Sunoco Camaro's back.
It is, and it is a really cool car, and they have an excellent team. Stevenson Motorsports have gone to 4 cars this year, 2 on a regular basis in Rolex, 2 here in the Continental Tire Sports Car Challenge Series as well. So they've really had to up the ante in terms of employees, a lot to get together. But this Continental Tire program is led by Greg Jones, the engineer, Larry Hound, the crew chief, ex-PTG guy. They have a lot of experience there on the pit wall.
One more position done, I should say, for Matt Plum as he gets by the 23 of Duncan Endy. The next one on his list as he continues to chase is the 37 of James Guay. Down on the low line there is the new Subaru WRX as we watch the Mustangs go hard at it.
Gunnar Jeanette down to the low side, and the 16 car will take that group into the chicane.
Remember, he took 4 tires, so he should have a lot of grip here for this sprint to the finish this afternoon.
Turner BMW right in front of him just botched the chicane. I would expect he'll have slow straightaway speed.
Well, Joey Hand said he's having to drive the wheels off this 6-cylinder BMW compared with the E92, and there we see it. The big V8 power. This is a V8 powered series right now. I think the 6-cylinder days may be gone.
Joey just got a little loose down there in the chicane, couldn't get on the throttle, and he's going to fall victim to all these guys up the straightaway.
It is a 4-line fight up front, that's for sure. Terry Borchella, Charles Espenlaub. There's just a little over a second in it last time round. Make that half a second. Espenlaub has really bridged that gap now to the race leader. Rob Finlay hangs on to 3rd. Spencer Pumpelly has moved to 4th. Bucknam 5th. Matt Plum up to 6th now. This is a mad scramble home, and there's still plenty of time left to go.
Well, the 2 lead cars have the same amount of miles on their tires. However, the big difference is Charles Espenlaub has more fuel in the tank. Drama down in turn 1.
That's one of the Bimmer World cars, and is able to flick spin and get going again.
3 cars involved in that, all got contact.
That's too bad. That was James Clay. He's been having an excellent run here this afternoon. The Bimmer World squad making the move into the Continental Tire Series. Oh, and he just got, did he get any help from the back?
Yeah, I think he did get tapped from behind. There was 3 cars together.
There was a Compass 360 car involved in that as well, just off to the right of the screen. Check this out.
Yeah, you'll see it here. Bam!
Oh, boy. He got nailed.
That was
big
in 74,
time.
I think. Lawson Archenbach just got right into the back of the 80 of James Clay.
That's too bad. Running well up inside the top 5 on their debut in this series of competition.
This car with the radiator punctured will not be going anywhere.
And that was the 76, not the 74. I apologize for that. Not Lawson Archenbach. Here is another new car. We said right at the top of the show about the variety of cars, the manufacturers and models. We've now got an Audi S4 running in the Continental Tire Challenge.
That's Ian Boss driving that car. We know he's a good driver.
Well, he had a great year last year in the ST class. APR squad were really on form with numerous wins. And Ian was really excited about this new program moving up to GS. But his early days, we've seen a lot of cars out there we've talked about in their early days of development right now.
Well, that's the story, isn't it? I mean, all these brand new cars, you're going to have to go out there and find out where the weak link is, shore that up, and get the speed out of the car.
Tell you what, though, this team does it rightly. I mean, the cars are beautifully prepared, and they've got the resources. They'll get the job done.
The facility that they have in Alabama is just first class. And for Stephen Hooks, the principal at APR, and Jeff Mistori, they really turn out some beautiful race cars. They had their best season to date last year.
Oh, not a good place to be 3 wide, boys.
That looked...
Look at this.
Traffic jam.
Dorsey, you'd call this a shabozzle, wouldn't you?
It's about to be a shabozzle. Right now, it's a big motorized mayhem is what it is right now.
Let's go down the order for you again. Now they've completed another lap. Borchella still leads by just under 0.3 of a second over Espenlaub. Matt Plum has worked his way into 3rd. Spencer Pumpelly, Rob Finlay, Bucknam, Guay, Mason, Gunnar Jeanette and John Potter. That's the top 10 in GS. In ST, it's still Lawson Archenbach over Benoit Tige and Vijay Mozayan in that 197 Mini that just got tapped down into turn 1.
Now, this is a sort of ugliness is what this is. All these guys with relatively the same speed have nowhere to go. They're side by side, pushing and shoving on each other. Good stuff.
We could hear all of your trademark phrases in one sentence.
It could happen.
Look at this. This is for the outright lead and the GS lead. Terry Borchella defending from the sister car, the team car. It's been a 4-line day today for sure. And it's Borchella defending from Espinlaub. And plenty of time and laps left to see more great racing. The fresh from Florida. Who's going to win it in 2010? We'll find out. Is on for the lead. High line is Terry Borchella. The low line is Charles Espinlaub. The V8-powered BMW's down into one, and Espinlaub wants that slice of the lead like he had earlier.
I like what he did. He popped out, realized it was too soon, ducked back in again, got some help from the draft, and made it work down into turn one.
Yeah, Terry realized there that he had no hope of really defending that, didn't want to work it too hard down into turn one and run wide, so he's just going to tuck behind Charles. Remember, he may take the position here, Dorsey. Let him go, try and save fuel. Terry has to save fuel. If he can use that slipstream, half a gallon may be the difference here, and he can have another go at him at the end of this race.
And you saw the drivers give each other hand signals there. That was a pass. I think you're right, Calvin. I think that's the smartest thing right now that could be done, is to get that fuel mileage, draft the other car, and see if you can even make it to the finish line.
Now, the next aspect of this story, while the sister cars go at it at the front, there is a 7-second margin between the 45 and the next car in line. It is also another E92 V8-powered BMW, and that's Matt Plum. He's got time on his side, but he's got to basically make up about half a second a lap on these guys to be with them by the end.
Well, he's certainly shown that half a lap advantage over the rest of the field throughout the course of this race, but right now it's money time. Can he make it happen with 22.5 minutes to go?
Trouble for the Mini, the 197. We've been watching that car anyway. Something's been dragging on the right rear wheel tire. You see it right there, but now the car's slow as well.
And VJ got tagged in that turn one incident with the 76 Compass 360 car and the Bimmerworld car. However, while there was trouble for one of the Bimmerworld entries, Seth Thomas in the 81, it's their first run in the ST class. Seth has now moved up into third, ahead of the 26 entry of Freedom Autosport of Andrew Carbonell, who runs fourth.
That's just the fender flare on the Mini that's dragging on the ground, so it's not anything that's making it go slow.
There we see it. What Terry wants to do is get right up behind him and then just be able to backpedal on that throttle a little bit and save some fuel. That's what I'm assuming. Maybe they're just going.
Now, perfect draft. No, you're right, Calvin. He's right in line. Good, nice draft, nice, clean draft. Pick up that fuel mileage, push your friend along.
And what you're able to do there, you're able to keep the same speed on the racetrack, but only use about 3/4 part throttle, and that saves. And he needs to be in save mode right now, unless we see some caution.
Both cars loose as they exit two.
Makes you wonder if the team are going to really alert Charles to the situation fuel-wise, so they can work together, because if Charles thinks that Terry is racing him hard, he's going to start to defend a little bit here as the minutes dwindle down.
Chris?
Dorsey, you just said those fall line cars getting a little bit loose there down in turn one. Let's remember back to that last pit stop, the rum bum car. When Matt Plum came to pit lane, they did do right side tires. So both those fall line cars, the tires are much older than the right side tires on the 13.
And to continue our storyline of can Matt Plum catch these guys? Well, as of the last lap, the answer is no. No advantage gained. It still stays a 7-second margin from Terry Borchella in second to Matt Plum in third.
You know, Charles and Terry, if they work together like they're doing now, are very fast as a pair. They're getting advantage on speed, but they're also getting that fuel mileage advantage.
Yeah, and the two cars will actually work better together. Even from Charles' perspective, the two cars punch a different hole in the air. They'll be more effective. So if the team has alerted Charles in what is going on here, they need to just really get in a good rhythm. The last lap, the 3 leaders ran lap times within 200ths of a second of each other. So right now, Matt Plum is not cutting into that advantage, Lee, as you said.
There's the distance. That's the ground that needs to be made up by this man here. Matt Plum, highly experienced racer, partnering a rookie, a teenage rookie at that, Gian Bacardi, in his first professional race. You have to say, the kid handled the pressure beautifully.
Oh, fantastic. He did an awesome job. Was running in second position when he came on pit road. But right now, Joe Vardy will be telling Matt Plum, listen, Borchella looks like he's going to be in trouble on fuel. Espinlaub didn't take tires. Go get him.
Look at that. Look.
And think big picture. We're in this for a championship. Get those points.
Look how pretty that is. I mean, that is exactly textbook the way you want to do things around here. And the question's been answered. How good is these BMWs? How good are they going to be? Well, right now they're standing 1, 2, 3.
Spencer Pumpelly is the best of the Porsches, running fourth at the moment, ahead of Rob Finlay. Those new Camaros, Jeff Bucknam is the best of those boys. He's running sixth, ahead of James Gouet, Gunnar Jeanette in the new Boss 302. And then you've got Ray Mason, Joey Hand. Ray Mason has just moved up a spot, so too has Joey. Gunnar Jeanette, something's going on with the 16. Has Gunnar come to pit road, or is he dropping down the order?
Drop down. He's down to 16th right now as they flash over the stripe. So I think a real indicator of how the bar has been raised this year is that Joey Hand did a really good pit stop in terms of getting it done before that caution, and he still runs down in 9th place. That's the same machine or same spec machine that won the race here last year. So the ante has been up for 2010.
Defending series champion Kenny Wilden is down in 17th place, but the boys, Brian and Chris, chronicled the dramas for the 59, the Rehagen Mustang, a little earlier in the show, so it's a tough start for the defending champ. In ST, it's still awesome Lawson. Archenbach leads that class. This February, Bull Run returns to speed for a grueling new season. Bill Goldberg will push 12 teams of drivers over almost 4,000 miles to see who cracks first. That's Bull Run, Thursdays at 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on Speed. We're back, and we're talking the Fresh from Florida 200. We're talking the Continental Tire Sports Car Challenge, and we're also talking BMWs 1, 2, and 3. It's Four Line, and Rum Bum. Charles Espenlaub, Terry Borchella, and Matt Plum. He got it down to a 4.5-second margin. Matt Plum, that is, trying to catch Terry Borchella. It's blowing back out to 6 seconds.
Well, traffic is certainly playing a factor here, and now we see the 97 car on pit lane. Joey Hand, some kind of issue with a tire on the left front. Not sure if the wheel is broken or whether he just cut down the tire there, so his day goes from bad to worse. He knew he had a fight on his hands here today. He's waiting for that new E92 V8, hopefully for the next round at Homestead.
And the question remains, does Terry Borchella in the second place car, the BMW 45, have enough fuel to get to the finish line? He's been doing all the drafting, doing everything he can behind the wheel to gain mileage, but it's going to be close.
Well, he's going to have to use a little bit right now to get back on the tail of Charles Espenlaub here, because he needs to be drafting with him to get that advantage. And right now he's got a bit of a gap.
Here's our ST class leader, Lawson Archenbach. We spoke about Lawson before, then another strong performance. You can't say enough about this Compass 360 team. They know how to get it done in the ST class. Really strong performance. There were more of the cars up there. Benoit Tige is running 4th in class. He's just been overtaken by Freedom Autosport's Andrew Carbonell. So 1 and 4 for the 360 boys at the moment.
Well, they've really been working hard in the offseason. They had some pretty dominant cars last year, obviously winning the championship with Christian Miller, but working with Skunk too, got some suspension upgrades, done some work with the Coney shocks just on the valving. Of course, everything is pretty controlled there, but you have to keep fine-tuning these cars if you're going to keep that edge.
Well, Calvin, one of the other changes that happened was about halfway through last season, Compass 360 lost a gallon of fuel, so they've really had to play the strategy game well, and they've done it today. The problem is right now, Seth Thomas in the 81 BMW, right behind him, closing at about 0.2 of a second a lap. I just talked to Carl Thompson from Compass 360. He said if we get a yellow, we're in trouble. Right now, Lawson has to drive a pace and save some car for the end, because if we get a caution, we're going to have to battle, and quite frankly, I think the BMW is stronger from the bus stop to the finish line. So right now they're just hoping for green all the way to the checkered.
There you take a look at Seth Thomas, currently in second, but he is in fact running down the lead at a couple tenths a second. Like you said, Brian, this BMW will be strong. A yellow would certainly put the picture a whole different.
Well, this Bimmer World squad have had so much success over the last couple of years, in particular in the World Challenge Series, and they've had 5 years experience with the BMWs, but these are brand new race cars, very different to the spec they are running in the previous championship. And I talked about strategy and pit stops, what they're not used to, and Seth said, yeah, you're right, we do have to learn all that stuff. We're very excited about it, but don't forget, we do the odd endurance race. We've run the VIR 13-hour race a couple of times and have won it the last 2 years, so we think we've got our act together.
Trouble here, Gunnar Jeanette, the number 16 Mustang, has had some sort of contact and has the whole rear bumper. Part of the muffler system is bent and falling off.
Well, not necessarily this damage, but it has been a productive weekend for Multimatic and for Ford and with these Mustang, the Boss 302s, because they had minimal testing, minimal miles. It's very much a learning process with these new cars.
Lee, one of the problems that they have had with these new Mustangs was an electrical problem. When they were up on the banking after running about 6 or 8 laps, the electronics would begin to retard the engine timing and they'd lose power, and that seems to be what has happened to Gunnar Jeanette over the last half hour or so. I don't know the contact on the racetrack, but I talked to Larry Holt. He said we were running well, but now we're beginning to drop back. That electrical gremlin has raised its head again. And you talked about all BMWs up front. Don't forget, the Mustang's very strong in qualifying. In fact, Rehagen had qualified 3, 5, and 7. So strength in Mustangs. They've just fallen afoul of some mechanical issues along the way, but throughout the season, I expect to see a good battle between certainly BMW and Mustang, but don't forget about the Porsches in there as well.
Well, Brian, right as you were talking about running afoul, the car just did run afoul. He missed the chicane on the back straightaway, couldn't get stopped. You see it here. He's having to go straight. Now what he has to do is bring the car to a stop, wait for them to give him a go signal to re-enter. He can't gain a position. There's the go board, and he goes on. So more trouble for the 16.
Meanwhile, the battle up front for second and third is starting to heat up a little. The margin, Borchella in second to Plum in third. It's down to 2.8 seconds. That's the tightest we've seen it.
It is, and the reason being is Matt Plum just ran the fastest lap of the race, a 2-minute flat .196.
Trouble
that
right
is
there. I
great
think he's
stuff.
out of gas. I think Terry just ran out of gas coming off that corner. Drops to the apron and starts shaking the car. I think that was his first stumble.
Well, he's 10 minutes shy, so if that is the case, and yeah, Plum is by for second. Next man on his hit list, Charles Espenlaub, the next of the 4-line cars.
Chris?
Yeah, guys, about 1 minute ago, the team stood up. They realized that Terry was not going to make it. They got the fuel rig ready to go, and now they're just hoping that Terry can make it back around to pit lane. So this team was really hoping that they were going to be able to save enough fuel behind Charles Espenlaub, but that's not the case. So right now, it's all about trying to get Terry to pit lane and give him enough fuel to get to the checkered.
Usually when that thing stumbles, you got the rest of that lap. Here you see him coming on the pit lane now. He's got the 16 car right up in front of him that he's going to have to deal with.
Key is not to get too frustrated. 45 miles an hour, which is the number on his car. He has to hit that, otherwise he'll get another penalty here. It should be a quick time splash, but taking him out of the mix for a podium finish here today.
Long championship, 10 rounds. Just get back out there and get some points. Who knows what's going to shake out as this season progresses. Borchella fueled up and sent. And you saw Gunnar Jeanette just ahead of him. This is Gunnar, and he heads back to the garage. Daytona, as we have the fresh from Florida 200 almost over. First and second, the pressure really is on Charles Espenlaub now. The 4-line BMW versus the Rum Bum BMW for honours in the opening round of the Continental Tire Sports Car Challenge. Matt Plum has just been chipping away, but Espenlaub has his hands full.
He does, and these guys are right in the middle of the ST lead battle as well. That's the difference there between the orange car and the blue car for the ST lead as well. So two great lead changes about to happen potentially, Dawes.
Charles Espenlaub's car is out of tire, and he cannot cool it down. There's no time left, less than 5 minutes. Espenlaub with the big run.
He's got to move to the inside. He's got to defend.
Doesn't.
Does it late, though.
Oh, and they might make contact before this is over.
Look at this. Hold on, hold on, hold on. They rub a little bit. Yeah. But Matt Plum executes the move, and he is the new race leader.
Charles needed to get it down to the inside a little bit earlier. Matt had the run on him, got the position. Dorsey, nothing Charles could do after that.
No, and the Rum Bum car has got top end. I don't know why it does. Look at him weaving up on the bank and trying to break the draft.
And remember, Chris talked about it. They took 2 tires, and Charles didn't. He just took that splash under green. So couldn't afford to take 2 tires at that stage of the game. Just needed to get back out there on track before the caution. Good call, but it wasn't enough. It doesn't look like. This Plum car, though, has been awesome all day long.
Espenlaub had a very scary moment right here. You can see some of his tire marks going across the grass there. Under braking, coming across onto the apron. The car broke sideways. He caught it and ran across the grass. Let's show you what happened several laps ago while we're in the break with Espenlaub.
Here we see him, or he's already sideways there, and then gets the left side down in the grass, and then just straightens it out. A good save, but you could tell that he knew he needed to be on the limit, pushing hard to try and defend this lead.
Check this out between the Hart Honda Civic and the APR Volkswagen. This was nasty stuff.
That's kind of help you don't need in the chicane. Almost turns this VW over.
That was ugly.
It was ugly.
What a difference a year makes. I mean, those little APR cars were dominating last year, and right now with the competition level of 2010, Not a good opening weekend for that team, but I'm sure they will rebound here.
Chris, how about the Rum Bum boys? Lewis Bacardi was involved in Daytona prototype racing for a very short time. Now his boy is racing with Matt Plum and could potentially win this one on debut.
Yeah, and you guys were talking about that call down here in pit lane. Jim Bell calling for just fuel under green flag racing. Joe Vardy calling for fuel and right side tires under caution. Both Joe and Jim, these guys are South Florida fishing buddies since the mid-70s. You can imagine this next week, the pride and that Joe Vardy's going to be pumping at Jim Bell saying, hey man, I made the right call.
Jim Bell lives down in the Keys a little bit earlier than I do. I'm way down from him, but another Florida guy. I've driven for Jim before, really nice guy.
I think to defend the situation here, though, for Jim Bell, I mean, I think Joe Vardy had a stronger car and better track position to make that call in. I mean, Jim Bell just rolled the dice early, banking on that yellow. That's all he could afford to do.
Flat left rear here. That's why that car's limping around. Those guys are both good friends, and now they're both in good BMWs. One more lap to go, boys.
Yeah, White is out for the first race of the year in the Continental Tire Challenge. And what a way to start for the Rum Bum boys. Superb performance. There's a lot to talk about. That is Joe Vardy there on the right-hand side. The man calling
Putnam.
the shots.
And he's only looking as tall as he is. Oh, trouble here. Two cars together.
Oh, that's a shame. The 66 car had such an awesome run here today.
They're locked together, boys. That's not good.
That is Rob Finlay on the left in the 52 Rehagan Mustang and the Riley Mazda. Jamison Riley did the majority of the workload today, handed over to his brother, and it has come to a rather unsavory end. Half a lap from home now for Matt Plum and Gian Bacardi. Espinlaub's not giving up. We should say that as they come through this caution period.
Going to keep the hammer down, but I don't see a lot of traffic in front of him that's really going to help him out. So Matt Plum will just need to be nice and smooth here, get the power down early.
Yeah, I mean, Matt Plum, without whatever the reason, it doesn't make any difference. That car has been stellar up on the banking. It's definitely got more top speed than any other car out there.
How about the margin between these two BMWs and everybody else? 24 seconds back is Spencer Pumpelly in third, flying the flag for Porsche and for TRG, and that will be a welcomed podium.
Tell you what, it's got all the rest of the competitors thinking about the rest of the year going, oh boy.
Yeah.
Well, the key is it's really a development year for this E92 V8 powered M3 last season, and there were a lot of bugs. There's some suspension issues that had to be worked out, some reliability issues, but right now they've come out of the box strong. They're going to be awfully tough because we know the BMWs can handle Dorsey. They've got great brakes, and right now they've got good horsepower as well.
Coming to the line in the fresh from Florida 200. What a drive, what a day it's been for Gian Bacardi and for Matt Plum. It was a BMW victory here a year ago at the hands of Billy Aublin and Matt Bell. This time round, it is Plum and Bacardi, rum bum to the top at Daytona International on debut in the E92 BMW. New team, new car, new driver lineup, and they go all the way to victory lane. And in ST, the Compass 360 boys, they know how to celebrate. It has been a remarkable day for them. And the 74, awesome performance from Lawson Archenbach. Very good performance. And we will hear from the Compass 360 boys when we come back as well. Speed's coverage of the Continental Tire Sports Car Challenge is presented by Continental Tire. Innovative technology, driving confidence. And brought to you in part by the Kia Forte Coupe. It's one hot ride. It was one hot ride by the Rum Bum BMW boys. Chris Neville's in victory lane.
Well, Matt Plum celebrating up on top of the Rum Bum BMW. What a great weekend for these guys. Third year in a row as he gives his new teammate a hug, Gian Bacardi. Third year in a row now, a rookie driver has had a chance to come away and win the first round. Matt, what an awesome race. You definitely had to work hard for this one.
Oh, my God. Way to go, Gian. I mean, he went out there in his first race, did an amazing job. This car is incredible. I'm without words. I didn't believe it, even after I pulled past start finish.
Perfect way to start the year. Brian?
Well, as much as excitement as there is in the Rum Bum camp, it's in 362. David Thelinius, Lawson Archenbach, a great victory here. And for Lawson, you finished in the car. And I know at the end of the race, there was a lot of pressure from that Bimmer World BMW. How big was he getting in that rearview mirror?
Yeah, he got bigger and bigger every lap, but we knew we had a good car. I just tried to save it towards the middle of the race so I could save it for the end and really get some good laps. And I can't say enough about these guys. Compass 360, everybody did such a great job. This Honda Civic was just flawless all weekend. And I want to thank all our sponsors, EB Performance, Skunk 2, and everybody that's involved in this program. It's a great win and a great start to the season.
Great way to start the season, and that's 2 wins in a row for Lawson Archenbach at Daytona International Speedway in the ST class. Lee?
We congratulate those boys. We congratulate both of our winners. Dorsey, for the Rum Bum guys, putting together a new team, a new combination, the whole thing, and winning on debut. What does that mean?
Well, I'll tell you, when you go to the racetrack for the first time, you don't know what you have. To go out there and be as strong as these guys were, win the race, you know what it gives them? Great momentum going on from here forward.
Speaking of going forward, we look at the next round at Homestead Miami Speedway in a month's time. We saw some strong runs here by the new Camaros. Of course, the Mustangs. Cal, what can we expect in Miami?
Well, I think they'll be stronger. They'll come away from this first race. They'll have learned. They'll realize what they need to do to be a little bit more competitive. But the BMWs here today were awfully tough. They're going to be a strong championship threat.
Yeah, we didn't see a whole lot of the Dodge Challengers today. Will we see them at Miami? How about in ST? Will we expect more from the Minis, more from the Mazda boys as well? There's so much to talk about in the Continental Tire Challenge in 2010. So many good teams, so many good cars, so many good drivers. We hope you enjoyed the season opener. It sure was entertaining, and we'll see you in a month's time from Homestead Miami Speedway. See you then.